Morning, this is Meryl Stenhouse, recording my second vlog ever. Hooray! It's quite amusing. I've just come from watching Marie Forleo, who has a YouTube channel and does lots of inspiring videos. And I flicked back from her YouTube back to my little window with the picture of me. I thought, wow, I don't have my hair styled, I'm not wearing makeup, my background is crappy, badly painted cupboards. So yeah, that's a little intimidating, but that's good because as I said yesterday on my Facebook, today I really would like to talk about fear. And of course, today I have my cup of tea, a very essential part of my day. Today's tea is apple pie by Tambourine Tea, which is, taking it black, which is, as you can imagine, a beautiful, fragrant, sweet tea which smells and tastes like apple pie. I think that says everything that needs to be said. In my bug mug, like my bug mug. I love this thing. So, fear. Yeah, fear. I think every creative at one stage, and probably more than once, feels fear. It's an ancient instinct, originally saying, whoa, that thing's dangerous, back off, let's keep away, that tiger could eat me. But of course, these days we don't get eaten by tigers. These days fear is there to warn us that we are doing something that is not what we usually do. And the problem is we don't think of it as a warning. We still think of it as fear means keep away. But fear is really important as a creative, because fear really tells you that you are stretching yourself. That what you are taking on right now, this thing that is frightening the hell out of you, is something that is hard, that you may not be able to do as well as you want to do, and that frankly is a really good reason to do it. So the video I watched on Marie Forleo was, follow your fear. And Marie tells the story of wanting to be a dancer but feeling that she was too old and that she didn't have the skills. And I'll leave a link to that talk in the comments because it was a really good talk. And she's right. It's that fear grabs hold of you when you are challenging yourself. And this is important to remember. Now, personally, at the moment, I've been struggling with my fear for about 2 weeks now. And it's gotten to the point where, my head's full of fuzz. I can't sit down in front of the novel without panic setting in. And not the, oh my gosh, I have to finish panic, but the, what the heck are you doing? You can't do this panic. So this vlog, whatever you call it, is also about me talking to myself, which is kind of narcissistic possibly, about my fear. This is not the first time I've been afraid to do a project. But when you're deep in the throes of your fear, when you are, when it's got a grip on your heart, when you've got the tension here and you're short of breath, it's hard to remember that you can push through this. So just saying to myself now, you can push through this. Don't forget. So fear. The fear. Why am I afraid? Okay. This novel that I've been writing, The Godmaker's Daughter, has been in my head for years and years and years. And I've always been afraid to tackle it because it's big, it's ambitious, it's scary, it's not conventional, and there's no tropes that I can follow. There's no plot. It's not standard. It's just this big, messy conglomeration. I think I called it a cacophony yesterday, and that's pretty right. It's a big mess. And I've gone through the easy stuff. I've outlined, I've fiddled about, I've done characters, I've got snippets of dialogue. I'll show you my beautiful notebook. All of these are, parts of the novel that I've written as I was writing up my notes, so pages of notes. So I've gone through the easy bit. I've done that. I've written nearly 10,000 words of the opening. I've got most of the characters on stage, still a couple to come. And I've got to the point where I can see the end and I can see the beginning, but in between the end and the beginning is just this swamp. It's, you know, there's potholes, there's mires, there's quicksand, there's everything. And I'm looking at it, I don't want to cross this swamp. I'm not ready to cross this swamp. I do not want to do it. So I'm procrastinating, as you do when you're afraid. And as usual, you know, I look for inspiration. I went and found a TED Talk by Tim Urban about procrastination. It was hilarious. I'll put the link to that in the comments as well. It was, oh my gosh, it's so funny. But one thing he said, which was important, is that everyone's a procrastinator. And procrastination is not so bad when you have a deadline, you know, when you have an actual date, because then the panic monster kicks in and you can usually get things done by the date. But when there's no end date to something, that's when procrastination ruins your life, because you just keep procrastinating and there's nothing to stop that cycle of validation and easy entertainment over work. And that's the problem with the novel, of course, because it has no end date. Like I've got, you know, December 31st as when I would like to have the first draft done. And maybe I've given myself too much time because there's no stress. I've got no daily word count. I just need to sit down and work through this. So what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about this? I know what to do. I mean, the first thing I need to do is start to throw some scenes at this novel. Just throw them into Scrivener, one after the other, and not to worry so much whether they're important to the story or whether they're going to even be in the end point. You know, one of the things you learn when you're drafting is that if you start thinking about the final polished story when you're doing your first drafting, you'll never get there, because there's a lot that has to happen between the idea and the finished story, and a lot of that has to be just freedom to go wherever the story takes you, you know, to follow leads, to write, you know, 10,000 words that might not even end up in the final story. This is very important. Anyone who's a writer will tell you this, that you throw away more than you keep sometimes. So I need to stop looking at the end product, which I have this book in my head, this beautiful, crazy, magnificent book, but I can't use that as my goal to get where I'm going. I have to put it aside and I have to look I have to put blinkers on and just look at each scene as it comes. Okay, I need to write this scene and I need to follow this idea and I need to pursue this subplot. So that's what I'm going to do when I turn off the video. I'm going to go and start throwing scenes at my novel. And again, this is where Scrivener just is the most amazing program ever for people like me who just write in batshit crazy ways. I'm going to go and do that, and then I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to toughen the fuck up and go and write my novel. Okay, well that was fun. Thank you very much for listening to me ramble on about fear and my novel and my inability to, you know, make myself move forward. I hope you have a great day. I'd love to hear from you if you want to drop a note in the comments and say hi. And if you've got any questions or any stories to share of your own terrifying battle with the fear of the work, please share. You know, I'd love to hear them. Thanks very much, and I'll see you later. Bye.